Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I am back once again with another review. And we are continuing our look at the just released in Canada Transformers Cyberverse Deluxe class figures. If you saw yesterday's video with Megatron, I explained how I got them and what they are, but real quick, these are deluxe class, not warrior class, versions of the characters. They have full articulation and no gimmicks. And here is Bumblebee. And let me just start off real quick by saying this is probably the best deluxe class Bumblebee I ever handled, but I don't think it's as good as Megatron. And a lot of that has to do with the wings in the back here hitting these door panels. As you can see, Bumblebee comes with a small blaster, which looks like a scaled down version of the blaster used by the Masterpiece figure and his little stinger gimmick, which a lot of people were concerned was attached to the hand. It's not. It just pegs right in. And what's nice is you do have that blast effect. Now, getting this off and on was actually kind of a bit of an adventure because it was really on tight. And what's nice is you do have weapon storage here along the back. Just peg it in, and then with the handgun, as I pull it out of the hand, that does sit in very tight. Either wing has these little rectangular slots, and there's a rectangular post on the blaster that it will fit in. Other than that, it does have the same type of joint system as Megatron: ball joints in the shoulders, elbows, mushroom caps in the wrist, ball joints in the hips, a hinge at the knee, and of course ankle pivot. The head is on a ball joint, but unfortunately it's not as expressive as Megatron's, and I feel that is due to the design. Very nice comparing it to the animation model. I don't have the Spark Armor Ultra Class Bumblebee, the one with the battleship, so I don't know how this figure compares. But like I said, this is the best deluxe Bumblebee I've handled. You know, going back 5 years to the 30th anniversary, and that like generation style movie design, Camaro type Bumblebee, the plastic just felt very thin and cheap and rubbery, and the weapon just didn't look good. This is a nice looking figure. So how about we pause, I come back, and we get into the transformation. Okay, I've gone ahead and brought Bumblebee back to a neutral pose. Start off the transformation. You want to turn the figure around, bring back this back section, does peg into place quite nicely, and you want to come in and flip up this section here and flip out that section there. While you're there, go ahead and bring back Bumblebee's head. You might have to adjust the arms a little, just like so, and then bring this section forward. Come around, bring the arms up slightly, and in doing so, flip up those little shoulder bits that will, form the front of the car. The instructions show you to now bring these up all the way and peg them into place. We're not going to do that just yet because I noticed it affected this next step, which was rotating the figure around 180 degrees at the waist, and the fists were hitting into the waist joint. So go ahead and do that, and then open up these panels here on his legs and flip the feet in. Now, I do have to mention, getting the feet out, I did have to use a spudger, so you might want to be a little mindful of that. And then go ahead. I think at this point, you can come around the front here and bring up these arm sections, and they will friction into place. There's like little gray tabs on the side, and there's little slots under the forearms that'll bring it in. And then go ahead and make sure that middle section tabs in here, and then flip this curved part, this front part down, and it curves into the shoulders, and that comes together quite nicely. So continuing on, bring the legs up, slot them into place under the back there. Go ahead and close up the leg panel. Now, the instructions show you to flip up the chest. But before you're going to do that, I'm going to show you something the instructions don't show. Right there are little rectangular tabs. There are posts on their slots on the gun, and that pegs in quite nicely. So then flip up the chest. You're just about done. Bring back this section here for the doors on the wings. And then the wings will peg into place along the side. And there you have Bumblebee in its car mode. Rolls quite nicely. The gun does not affect anything. It is nice that the weapon storage is there because there's a wide slot here on either side. You can go ahead and store the Stinger. So really, much like Megatron, you have full storage for the accessories, well, except for the macadam part, but that's something a little bit different that we'll get to a little bit later. So yeah, the transformation is fun. You do get a very nice, compact car design. And it comes together. It's not that fiddly at all, unlike the other Warrior class Bumblebees that, frankly, I think were terrible. I know a lot of that had to do with the gimmick. There's no gimmicks here, just fun. Now it's up to you. Personally, I don't think I'm going to use the Stinger that much, but I really do like that blast effect. So I think I'd be keeping it off to the side, especially considering that the blaster is there and can store underneath. I wish there was some way to store the Stinger internally, but I understand why you can't. So we'll pause. I'll be back with my final thoughts. Okay, I really like Bumblebee. As I mentioned, there is that issue with the front shoulder bits hitting into the door wings, but that's something that can be adjusted and you can work around. The joints are much tighter on Megatron, but again, that's a your mileage may vary type of thing, and I know a lot of people have said, I got floor polish, I'm not worried. So definitely, I recommend this version of Bumblebee. It's really worth a pickup, especially considering the Cyberverse line has been very Bumblebee-centric in terms of as a character and focusing on him, much more so than I think the previous Robots in Disguise cartoon, which again was supposed to be a Bumblebee-centric line. As of this recording, Google Shopping is offering through Hasbro Toy Shop, which means Hasbro Toy Shop has a storefront on Google Shopping, Optimus Prime, Megatron, and Shockwave. Maybe Bumblebee will pop up at some point. Who knows? But if you are interested in these figures, they're $19.99 and they have a 20% off coupon. I've ordered from Hasbro Toy Shop before, both on its standalone website and through its eBay store, but never through Google Shopping, so I can't tell you about the experience. So if you want these figures, you might be able to get them before Christmas if you jump on it, but that's like as of this recording today. So that's about it for your old pal Chuck for Bumblebee. We will see you next time.